So when I was born in the 70s, we pretty much threw away everything. Today, we wouldn't even consider throwing paper or aluminum or glass away because it's fully recyclable. One day, we'll be able to say the same thing about our clothing. One day very soon. I know a lot about one thing, and that's how we make textiles and apparel commercially. I've been doing it for half my life. And in 2010, I had a moment of clarity, but it could probably be best described as a breakdown. I traveled to China for the first time without large corporate credentials. I wasn't Stacy from DuPont or Target or Eddie Bauer. I went in unnamed, working for a small company that made clothing out of recycled plastic waste. But in all of my times in China, I had never seen this. My colleague and I got out of the car and we were standing just a few feet away from each other and we couldn't see each other clearly. We went into our meeting, elevator doors opened, midway through the room to the ceiling was this cloud from outside hovering above the heads of the corporate team that was working there. We sat at a table under this cloud and we looked at their fabrics and we talked about how we were going to do business together. For the first time in my career, I couldn't do my job. And as I traveled around China for a month, it dawned on me that my industry creates the kinds of conditions where children are growing up and they've never seen blue sky. These kids can't swim in their lakes or their rivers because they're black. And then I began adding up how many millions of yards of fabric I have created in the world. And all of a sudden, I became linked to this massive issue I was standing in the middle of. Now, I'm one person, and this problem is so big, so much bigger than me, but I'm also pissed and incredibly well-trained. So I actually decided I needed more training, and in order to really solve this problem, I went back to school to get my MBA in Sustainable Systems at Pinchot University in Seattle. While I was at Pinchot, I discovered what most sustainable MBAs in their first year discover, that we have a fundamental business model problem in this industry. It's based on style obsolescence with consumption as the key driver. But I also knew that if I went into any major brand or retailer with this epiphany, I would be very politely told to get the hell out, until I had something interesting to talk about. So this led me to begin my research. And what I discovered were two things. The very first ingredient when making any garment is fiber. 60% of all of the clothing made in the world is made from petroleum. 30% of all the clothing made in the world is made from cotton. Both fibers require tremendous amounts of natural resources. To make a simple cotton shirt requires 700 gallons of fresh, clean water. Then that's only to create fiber. Then we have to put all of this other value into creating yarn, knit it, weave it, dye it, print it, finish it, cut and sew it into garments that we all buy, we all wear, we all love. And the effect is we create over 14 million tons of garment waste every year in the United States. That's enough to fill up our Capitol building here in Olympia, Washington, from top to bottom every day of the year. So I began circling around one question. Is there a way to break this waste down, convert it into new fiber, which is the linchpin of the entire system? We discovered that it is possible, but what we were not expecting was that we could actually create something so beautiful. The way our technology works is we take cotton garment waste, we purify it, and we convert it into a pulp. We can then extrude this pulp into a pristine new fiber that is finer denier than silk and stronger than cotton, made entirely of garment waste. What this means to you guys is we can take your old jeans, break them down to the molecular level, build them back up into beautiful sweaters that look good, feel good, and hold color beautifully. When you're done with that sweater and it's been reused and recycled, we can break it down again and convert it back into premium jeans. This is a game changer. This is actually takes what we perceive as waste and turns it into the modern day resource. We've gotten the attention now of some major brands and retailers, so you're going to have clothing at some point pretty soon made of this new fiber. But the reason that I do this work, the reason I stand up against this problem, is because I'm proving a theory to myself, and that is, if one person can do so much damage completely unintentionally, what can the same person do intentionally for good? So please stand up. Please stand and admire what everyone is wearing and how every single person expresses themselves through their clothing. And know that it is far less important than what we wear and far more important in the way that it's made and the way it's disposed of. We create our future. We also create the future for generations to come. And when we stand together, we become so much bigger than any one of us could ever be on our own. Thank you.